So in Chris's last video, he talked about state, how you are at any given moment in time. And our belief is that your state has more impact on your performance than your ability. Now, obviously, our state is impacted on all the things that are going on around us and how we process it and what's going on inside of our heads. And obviously, in these peculiar times, we are slightly more primed with our state. And so the more awareness we can have around our state, then I think the more chance we have of having a better day. Now, our state is made up of four energies: our physical energy, our mental energy, our emotional energy, and our spiritual energy, or our sense of connection. And we're going to focus on each of those in more detail with the next four videos. And today's video is to do with physical energy. Now, we all know that if we're well rested, because we've slept well, we've eaten well, we've done loads of exercise, we're hydrated, then the energy benefits we get are pretty obvious. And yet we can neglect it really quickly. You know, business meetings, how many times have you sat in a business meeting without moving? And as a result, slowly the engagement levels and productivity dip. We see it in conferences where people just sit and listen to people drone on using PowerPoint slides, and you lose masses of opportunity. But I also think in these strange times when we're cooped up in our houses, and therefore the familiar structure of our day disappears, it's also very easy to neglect our physical energy. And so this is to share with you some stimulus around what you can do to invest in your physical energy over the coming months. And of course, we're all different and there's all kinds of things you can do. I just thought I'd look back at the last 15 months where we've been doing our Elvis energy experiments. And if you haven't been following them, check them out on the link below. But we've been talking to lots of different experts in different fields of energy and picking their brains and getting them to set us month-long experiments where we can deep dive into their particular field. And at the end of that month, we've been doing podcasts and writing blogs to share our learnings. So as I say, if you're interested in finding out more about all of those, then click on the link below. But for now, I'm just going to share with you the 5 that probably stood out for us when it came to physical energy in no particular order. So number 1, fasted exercise. So this was a brilliant challenge set for us by James Parks. He's the strength and conditioning coach at a very successful Premiership rugby team in the Southwest. We can't say who. And he talked about the benefits of exercising having fasted for a chunk of time. I think the time you're looking for is about 6-7 hours. But the easy time to do that is, of course, is when you wake up. It's exercising when you wake up. It's a great way to kickstart the day. And also, if you do that before eating anything, then you are burning fat at 20 to 30% more efficiency. So why wouldn't you do that? And if you've tuned into the PE with Joe Wicks in the morning, which is getting the world or the nation going, or whether you're taking up Boris's offer of an hour to get outside, do that first thing before you eat anything, and I'm sure you'll notice the benefits. That's number 1, fasted exercise. Number 2, breathing. So there is a lot of busyness in our heads at the moment. And if you want a fast way to get clarity, to get peace of mind, to feel present, to feel grounded, then breathing properly can really help. And we had Michael Townsend, who is a breathing coach, come and talk to us about how you do breathe properly. Now, there is a great app that he's got, Breathe Sync, that you can download that basically takes you through the steps of breathing. But it's basically diaphragmatic breathing. And if any yogics out there will know all about it. But we tend to breathe really badly. Click on the link below with to follow the learnings we had from our breathing experiment and give that a go to see what you notice. So that's top tip number 2. Learn to breathe properly. Number 3, sleeping. So we had Nick Littlehales, who is a sleep coach, believe it or not, and helps Olympic athletes, amongst other people, train better through changing their sleeping habits. And he introduced the concept of polyphasic sleeping, which is basically sleeping a number of different times throughout a 24-hour period, rather than just monophasic sleeping where we go to bed and sleep for 8 hours. So basically it's about napping. And I know we all probably recognise that napping's great for us. And at work, we use it as we sort of go, well, we can't do it at work because it's frowned upon. But of course, if we're cooped up in home, it's the perfect opportunity to grab a nap because our bed is just just up the stairs. So I'd experiment with that. After you've had lunch, go for a nap. Now, no more than sort of 20, 25 minutes, set your alarm. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to be able to drop off and have a light sleep. But when I do it, I have loads more energy for the afternoon. So give that a go. Some napping. Who doesn't want a bit of that? So that's top tip number 3. Top tip number 4. In September, we partnered with 1 year no beer. Because obviously alcohol's great, but it can also very quickly damage our energy. And what I've noticed myself is that when we are cooped up in our houses, alcohol can be our friend, but it can also be our enemy when it comes to energy. So just be a bit wary of the drinking habits we can fall into when we're cooped up in our houses. And if you want some support, use 1 year no beer for that, because they are fantastic. And actually, seeing it as an opportunity to stay off the alcohol rather than diving into it could mean that you spring out of the back end of this when this is all a distant memory with loads more energy rather than crawling into it a bit like we do at the beginning of January after an indulgent Christmas. So 1 year no beer, give that a go. And finally, cold water immersion. Now, I wasn't a big fan of this, but Chris and Ross from the Elvis team loved it, so I feel as though I should share it with you, which was set for us by the Wild Swimming Brothers, and it's the benefits of cold water immersion. Now, we probably can't go and swim in the sea or in a lake or river at the moment, but you can have a cold shower, and this is probably why I didn't like it. But it is a brilliant way to wake up your senses, to give you a sort of supercharged energy at the start of your day. Apparently it's really good for your immune system as well, and we all need that at the moment. So again, if you want to find out more about that, click on the relevant link below. So look, there are 5 different energy experiments that you can play with. My suggestion is pick one, have a go with it and see what it gives you. And in doing so, your physical energy will benefit, and you'll also just be a little bit more aware as well. And then the next video will be playing with another one of those state energies. So until then, have fun, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.